Because the only love that counts is yours when you're in that state. Nobody else's love matters. Only thing that matters is yours, what you feel you love.
Yeah, you leave the planet screaming if that's your mantra.
I survived my own execution by my own hands. So I escaped that. Why was I meant to see all this pain, from drugs and liquor? Fuck, I had no idea what it could do to you.
And why are you here, you think?
To show people that, anything's possible, we don't give up.
Hey everybody, it's Seano McFarland. Welcome back to the Seano Show. A very special guest today, Michael Gerard Tyson. We could talk about being the youngest heavyweight champion of the world, all the shenanigans, but we might get in there. But we're going to talk about waking up. We're going to talk about resurrection, about not giving up. And I just want to say point blank, I just think that, brother, you are one of America's last originals. I really believe that to be true. Michael, welcome.
Thank you, Seano. Thank you.
It's good to have you here, man.
Happy to be here, brother.
So you and I started
15 years ago.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, what's that, 15 years?
No, maybe a little bit longer, because I met Kiki in 2008. We'll talk about that in a second. You were severely overweight.
Yeah.
You were depressed. You were a junkie. You were broke. You're getting ready to go back to prison.
Yes. Oh, God, damn.
Let's not forget that, brother.
Yeah, I did. I do forget that sometimes.
Never forget that.
I do forget that sometimes.
No, those were tricky times. And then a little bit after that, I met Kiki, who's here today, who's the glue, who I have so much love for. And I think I might have it wrong. You guys might have had $6,000 to you. You just had Milan. She'd been born maybe a week,
Christmas.
3 weeks, 3 weeks. And the first time I met Kiki, we'd met each other, and she's got Milan, and I'm going, is this girl going to kick my ass? I mean, the look she gave me. You understand that, don't you, bro?
Yeah, I'm sure she was in limbo, too, with her life.
Yeah, we were trying to all figure it out, weren't we?
Yes.
But we figured a few things out along the line, huh?
A few things, yes.
How's your heart, man? What's on your mind right now, brother?
I don't know. I'm just, I have an event coming up. I'm going to be sparring, fighting soon.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So I'm thinking about that pretty often.
Yeah? How's the training coming?
Coming along really well.
A lot of people want to know, obviously, Michael, why are you doing this now? Why do you want to step back in?
Because I want to.
There you go.
I like testing myself.
Right. You always push yourself.
Yes.
Right? 80,000 seats sold out.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's just me getting off the fence, doing something I want to do in my life, regardless of what anyone says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you put a lot of people to work. You know how much I appreciate that.
Hey, that's just comes with my job. When I work, everybody works. When I eat, everybody eats.
Exactly.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah. Let's go back a little bit, if you don't mind. Would you read a passage from your book?
Yeah. All right, and I'll go right here. I'll start right here. I took a lot of trips back to Phoenix for various court appearances. And I was always traveled with Seano. He was originally from Phoenix, and he was the best guy to be with. He knew what I was thinking, even when I wasn't thinking it. He knew I was listening to those high heels clicking and clicking, and it gets me aroused. Hearing those high heels was like someone knocking at my door. Seano and I was out to eat, and he knew my demons well. And we'd get back from lunch, and I'll come over to him, and he'll come over to me. Michael, what's wrong? And I walk into the restroom, and I felt like everyone was in there and was going like, look at that big, fat, washed-up nigga. So he walked out. He worked out some signal. When I get real scared, I'm very polite. I'll grab his arm, and that's what's the signal for Seano to tell me, it's okay, brother, you're cool. Sometimes all of the work really got to me. The first time I went back to Phoenix, Seano thought I was such a high risk that he would tell me that he was going to stay with me in the hotel room, and I would say, no, you're not. And I said, nobody's going to stay with me in my room. Then let's get back on the plane. I knew we were just up to going to have somebody come over there and think he was going to disappear on me. And that isn't cool. So what do I do? What do I want to do? I almost clocked him, but we slept side by side in that hotel room. He could always pick up my rage. What's going through your mind right now, Mike? You want to punch me, don't you? Seano said, "Yeah, I do want to punch you." We were like, when you fucking look at me like that with those Irish eyes, I knew, brother. I know, brother. But let's just stick together and make this thing work. I had to laugh. You're fucking crazy, Seano. Yeah, you're fucking crazy too, Mike. But let's just talk this thing out.
Oh, man.
You remember those days,
Yeah, Scottsdale Valley Ho, brother.
I thought it was hopeless back then.
Yeah, because it was not a lot going on.
I thought it was hopeless back then.
Yeah, and I think that passage is so beautiful because you know, the most powerful, baddest man on the planet had asked for help. I think asking for help is really powerful for people, and you did it.
Well, I never knew what the spiral was coming up in my life. I never knew I was going to go in that deep spiral and just keep going and going and going, and it just went out of whack. I just never knew that could happen in life.
Mm-hmm.
This hopelessness.
Mm-hmm.
And how so many millions of people feel like that but have no help.
Mm-hmm. You're in a bad spot, man. You didn't want to live.
Yeah, it was bad. It's hard to imagine I was in that spot before.
Mm-hmm. How did the light come back on, Michael?
A lot of work with a lot of people. I had just lost a child not long ago from a at-home accident, and I felt really depressed about that. I felt life was over, but then I realized I have other children to live for too.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned life is never over till you say it's over.
Mm-hmm. Right. You got so many great sayings, but one of them that I really love is, let me see it here. I'm a dreamer. I have to dream and reach for the stars, and if I miss a star, I grab a handful of clouds.
Yes.
You're a fucking poet. What inspired that?
I don't know if I'm a poet, but it's just not give it up.
Right.
I don't know. You got to grab something.
Yeah. A lot of people over the years said, why did Mike trust you? What's the answer to that?
I had no one else to trust.
That's not true, but yeah.
I don't know. It just worked out. I didn't think it would work out, but it just worked out.
It just worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. Do you remember our first meeting here?
No.
Yeah.
Wasn't good, was it?
Well, you were checking me out, as you should. Like, what's up with this guy? And like you were like, okay, so you're the big guru on sex addiction and recovery, but so tell me, what is it? And I said, it's a great question.
I didn't think I had a problem.
Yeah. That's how fucking denial you were. Why did you not think you had a problem?
Because I thought that's what everyone did. Everybody, you're a young guy, you're famous, you fuck everybody in the world.
Right.
I just thought, that's just with the belief that I became famous because I wanted everything. I wanted to have every woman. I wanted to have every car, every house, every plane, every boat. That's what this stuff was all about, I guess.
And so, you're looking at me kind of sarcastic and kind of didn't want to be here. And you asked me, and I said, that's a great question, Michael. I said, here's the deal. And I pointed back there and had a picture of Nicola, my wife, and my son, Dylan. I said, when I'm in my addiction, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'll do what the fuck I want to do. And he said, that's my guy. And then we haven't looked back since then.
It's hard to think right now that I didn't care about my family at one time.
Yeah.
And that really, I used to believe this, that AA has been a failure, but it's worked for me.
Huh.
Most of the people, the percentage of the people that I met that was involved with Alcoholics Anonymous all failed.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked for me.
Right.
It just worked for me.
Why did it work for you?
I had something to fall back on. I get arrested, I go to AA. Something bad happened to me and something, I get in problems with the law, I go to AA. That was my security.
Right.
Because I knew they'd talk for me, and if they talk for me, the courts can't do shit to me.
Right. Right.
It's a twin blade sword. I get in trouble, but I run back to you too.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a security blanket. I know if I get in trouble, I run back to these guys. They start talking to these legal people and the court people, boom, and I know I'm out of the court system.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I loved about you is you never wanted to go to private meetings. We always went to public
No,
meetings.
I was talking to somebody about that yesterday. I said, if you go to private meeting, you see the whole Hollywood in there.
Right.
But you got to go everybody. You got to just
Right.
you got to go to the meeting with the junkies in the
Right.
streets. Go to it. You got to go with the high rollers. Go to it too. You have to do both of them.
Mm-hmm. One of the
You have to see they're both the same. There's no, when it comes to being a junkie, being addicted, they're both the same. No one's more superior.
I always think that's, well, one of the things about you is you never forgot that part of you where you came from. The junkie part, all the shit that you came up around. You see that in other people. Nobody can read a room like you, brother.
No, but it's just I'm not ashamed of it.
I know you're not.
I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah. And then one of the many blessings of spending time with you is you're actually a good father now.
That was something I was
Yeah.
avoiding. I was avoiding that for a long time because that was a lot of work I didn't understand doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Let's talk about that. Yeah. What did you learn there?
I used to learn to be responsible for people who had nothing to do with my situation. They were not the cause of me being a junkie or maybe some guy that wanted to have sex with everybody. It wasn't their fault, but they were suffering greatly from it.
Mm-hmm.
They're suffering from it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have a nanny around me. You couldn't have nobody around me.
Right.
Yeah. It didn't matter if they were beautiful or ugly. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. That was just, oh, God. Old or young, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm. You had an episode lately where you almost died.
Yeah, that was
Let's talk
pretty
about that,
interesting.
brother.
I had a ruptured ulcer, and I didn't. For a week, I was training tremendously, and everything went great. And then I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from this fight, everything was just going great, and I got sick. I was in the airplane, but I had told my wife to stop buying processed food because I ate some processed gummies and some pretzels. Let's take one or two of them. And then my stomach started hurting. And so we were on a plane come from Miami, going to Los Angeles, and I just started feeling dizzy. I started spitting, I coughed up blood, and I got out the bathroom, and I passed out.
Wow.
And next thing I know, I was doing some IV. I'm on the plane, I'm on the floor, and I'm just totally embarrassed. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
And then as soon as we landed, we got in the ambulance, we went to the hospital, and we had 8 blood transfusions.
8.
8.
How long were you in the hospital for?
11 days, 12 days.
Right.
I lost 25 pounds at that time.
Wow.
And it was scary because they kept putting the camera down my throat. They kept taking blood. They kept giving me blood. And I was just asking the doctor, am I going to die or something? Because she said, well, she didn't say yes and she didn't say no. She just said we have options. And that didn't make us feel good. So I just didn't like when the doctor said, I can't believe you're still alive. You're a miracle going on all these. And this was like my 5th blood transfusion when he said this. And he couldn't believe I wasn't dead or in a coma.
Wow.
And so I was like, God, that's made our family. We had to plan my funeral right there in the hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was a humbling experience.
Yeah, it was humbling to the fact that I wasn't nervous or scared for some reason. Maybe it wasn't that moment because I felt great and the doctors kept saying I had to go get more blood. And I didn't understand that. So it eventually worked out and I'm very grateful for that.
It brought you closer to Kiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that. How did it bring you closer to her?
Because during the process of preparing for this funeral, we both, I couldn't believe how calm we both were. We weren't hysterical or anything.
Mm.
We just knew that it was what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mike, I know you pretty well. And I think about where you came from. I think about, being a kid your mom, doing that stuff, being around all that stuff, having Cuss in your life, all the great teachers in your life, Kiki coming in your life. I feel like there's always been a calling for you, something higher in your life. You're meant to be on this planet, not just to knock motherfuckers out.
I don't know. I feel that way as well. But I guess everybody feels they're here for a reason, you know?
Yeah, okay.
Even if to suffer, to help other people understand suffering is not as bad as we believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's here for a reason. I believe everybody learns from each other.
Mm-hmm. Why are you here, do you think?
To show people that, you know, anything's possible if you don't give up.
Right.
Anything's possible.
Right. What's, one of the things that I've known with you for many years, you just fought taking love in, but you're not fighting it as much.
I think I got over that, I guess we have sometimes residue of that flares up every now and then, but it's nothing like it was before.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the play that you did, that your wife wrote.
Undisputed Truth.
Huh?
Undisputed Truth.
The Undisputed Truth. When it was first announced, people were like, "What? Mike Tyson's going to be on Broadway? Like, really?" And it was a smash. And I was with you, and when you were doing the rehearsals in the theater in New York with Spike, and you had your speech coach, and you were treating it like a fight.
Well, yeah, it was.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about that, will you?
I did it, but and I believed in it, but I didn't know really. I didn't understand the theater. I didn't understand the mojo and the theater stuff. So when we first did it, I went out there, made a comment, and everybody started laughing, and I didn't want.
Were you talking about your dad?
No, that too.
Yeah.
And people started laughing, but I didn't want that. I wanted to, oh, fuck, man. But that's not what I got. So I said, babe, what's going on? And she just said, just go out, keep going. And then we continued to do it, and it became successful. And we did it all over the world.
Right.
We went all over the world and did it. We went to do it in some countries. I would talk, and then the commentator would talk, and I would get to laugh afterwards. It came later. It just was crazy.
You guys pulled off something really magical. I mean, that was so fucking brave to do that.
Well, that's just who I am. I don't look at it being brave. I look at it as testing myself.
You always love to push yourself.
Yeah, I won't do anything. Like if I have a project, I won't do anything if it doesn't risk me humiliating myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just who I am. You just gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very difficult for me to be uncomfortable because I've done almost everything to make me feel uncomfortable. But I keep trying.
Yeah, I know you will.
Yeah.
Let's talk about persistence.
Okay.
You would run in the snow because you knew the other people wouldn't be running in the snow. Can we talk about that? Why that's important?
Everything is important when you're preparing. Preparation is important.
Mm-hmm.
Preparation. You even can prepare for life, even though you can't tell the future, but you could tell from everybody else's life. Look at everybody else's life. This is a possibility that this could happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I always look at the possibility of other people being my possibility as well.
Mm-hmm.
I could have a great life being healthy. I could have a horrible life being unhealthy, but it pretty much depended on me.
Beautiful, man. What jams you up these days?
I don't know more than my children. Personally, we've been pretty stable together in my family.
Should we talk about the toad?
Yeah, come on.
Let's get on. Okay, talk about who turned you on to and what happened there.
Well, I was doing a lot of drugs and hanging out with a lot of girls and doing a lot of liquor. It's the basic. My what do you call that?
Your bottom?
My lowest moment. I do a lot of drugs, mostly cocaine and liquor. No marijuana. When I did cocaine and my liquor, marijuana doesn't exist in my life, and that's just my basic basic bottom. Cocaine, sex, violence. That's just what it was all about, and that's just what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't know how I was gonna get out of that. 'Cause I kept getting lower and lower and lower, and I realized if I never got involved with this, saved my life. Program saved my life.
Right.
If I never got involved with the program, if I never started dating people in the program that was quality people in the program, I would have been screwed. The program saved my life. There's no doubt about it.
When did you first do the toad? Let's talk about the toad.
I did the toad when my partner introduced me to a shaman, and he was talking about drugs. I thought it was really a narcotics he was talking about, and I was very interested in trying it. And he was telling me, he didn't tell me it wasn't. He said, you're going to have the best high you ever had in your life. And I said, let's do it right now. He said, no, it's a procedure. You got to lay down, listen to music. And so I've done that. And once I've done that, it was the scariest moment of my life. I never felt like that before in my life. I felt that I was in other worlds dealing. It was just something I never experienced. And it was dealing with a form of death that I never experienced before. And it was just, it's not hard to explain, but it's hard to believe that you can go to another playing field in life other than this existence that we live in. I've never been the same. I must have did it over 90 times now.
Well, you've done it 90 times? Wow.
90, yeah. And it's just where I go to when everything else is.
And why do you go to for now? You looking for clarity, understanding? You want to connect with the God?
Yeah, I'm looking for answers.
Looking for answers.
Yeah, how am I handle this situation? What am I gonna have to do to overcome this part of my life?
Will you do it before the fight?
I've already done it, but I always do it before fights.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. It's cracked your heart too, would you say?
It opened me up.
Yeah, it opened you up to what?
Not being afraid of death.
Right.
I think that's what it was created for, to die in dignity or with dignity. And not having hang-ups and being afraid not to be here anymore because there's another place to go to. That's just my perspective of it, that we never die. That's what I learned from the Toad, that you never actually die. And we all been here together before. We're all family. All 8 billion of us, whatever on this planet, we're all family members.
It definitely changed you.
Yeah.
Definitely changed you. Because you've been sober how long now?
Baby, is it going to 9 years?
9 years sober?
7? Are you sure? 7.
Let's call it 8.
Yeah, I think it's longer.
Is that, yeah? Wow.
Because that was amazing to get me to stop using drugs and liquor. It's just amazing. Even when I'm upset, even when I'm depressed, I just have no desire for that. I just know that was a part of my life that I passed already. I don't need to go back.
I've spent a lot of time with you, and I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking about, when is Michael his happiest? And it always comes back to, last time I went to visit you in Las Vegas, when I was with you with your pigeons. Because I get to see the little boy in you. Why does that provide you so much happiness?
It's just what it is. I can't explain it.
Huh?
I can't explain it. And anyone that flies pigeons, as long as I have, that's been doing this since they were 10 years old, 8 years old, I believe this. I believe that we forgot why we love them so much. You just forget they've been in your life so much. It's just, everywhere you go, you have to have them there. So for me to really explain what they really mean to me, it's almost impossible, because they've been there from the beginning. The only reason, all this stuff, Mike Tyson being famous stuff, because I had one fight over a pigeon and I never stopped fighting.
That was it. That's what started, right?
And I've never stopped fought every day since then.
Right.
Every day, 3 times a day, so fought all day.
Right. But you really know, you'll go to tournaments, you're really into it though, right?
Yeah. Once it's in your blood, it's just it's like drugs.
Right.
Once it's in your blood, it's hard to get it out. Almost impossible.
Right.
I'll be 80 years old. If I live to 80 or 90, I'll still have birds.
Right. Yeah, I know you will. That's great. Michael, what advice, a lot of people that are struggling with addiction or thinking about relapsing, what's your advice to them?
Hey, don't take yourself too serious. That's a form of relapse too. Just putting yourself on a pedestal that you're important, and you really don't feel that way, but you have to put that front on. Living a lie is the number one cause of addiction. Not living your truth.
Not living in truth. That's beautiful. Yeah, because you don't get hit that often with relapsing, right?
No.
It's gone pretty much, right?
No, but it's also spiritual relapsing too.
Ooh, yeah.
You don't have to be using no drugs, but your spiritual relapse is the same equivalent of using drugs.
What's an example of a spiritual relapse?
Just not giving a fuck, not respecting yourself, not respecting the people. Like when I was talking to the mayor, I said, "Hey, listen, we have to stop the drinking. Right? 'Cause you're letting down your AA brothers, your sober brothers. You're letting them down. You know." That's why when I'm here and I think about, I don't even think about if I drink, I'll be letting everybody else down. This is what they've been getting. They've been trying to get me to own a liquor company. And I can't. I said, no, I don't want to do it. But they don't get it. Everybody saying, you know how much money you can make in this liquor program, this liquor business, Michael? You sick crazy? Because everyone do it. Even the people that don't drink are doing it. They're using their name. But I have too many people I'm letting down if I did that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Can you imagine all these people here, all these people? I've been letting too many people down if I had a liquor company.
Right.
And that's the only reason I don't do it. It's because of my brother, my followers, the brothers, the fellowship.
You're right. You're loyal people. I've always loved that about you. You're fucking really loyal. I appreciate that. But your cannabis company is a different story.
Yeah, it's doing really good. My psychedelic company. But that's just what and I have a tobacco company, and that's just what I'm interested in doing. But I'm not interested in doing nothing with alcohol. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Good for you. Yeah, it brings up a lot of emotions when you think about the alcohol, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me more about that, brother.
Just made such a fool out of myself.
Right.
Fuck. I heard people I could never. I heard people I could never get an apology for. They would never accept my apology. You know that feeling?
Of course I do. Right.
You hurt them so bad they can't forgive
Kid
you.
doesn't. It's too much.
It's too much. They can't forgive you.
Yeah.
So I know that exists, and I didn't want to be that in my life with my wife and kids.
Right.
That feeling really exists.
Alcohol brings out a different ugliness in people.
Yeah, you don't care about no one's feelings. It's just you say the craziest shit. It didn't really it didn't do me any good. It's just I was addicted because family trauma and all that stuff. Everybody ever knew drink. My mother, my father, my stepfather, everybody drank. My brother, my sister. Everybody came to my house to drink. It was a party house. Then they finish drinking, then they start fucking. At the house, the kids, they start drinking, they go in the room, they start fucking. The kids were all here, they're in the room.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a good segue, buddy. Some of the work we did around, about you imagining yourself in that hallway scared with all the stuff that was going on, your mom doing her thing, different people, inappropriate people touching you. And you've learned how to love your little boy. Can you talk about that, how you've healed a lot of that trauma, Michael?
Well, listen, I just realized I didn't want them to have my trauma. And it was very easy. I could have passed that down to them. And I just wanted a different life.
Right.
I wanted, as they say, break the mold.
Yeah. Well, you and I talk about it. You know how much I love my boy Dylan.
Yes.
You know how much I love him. We've raised our kids together. And any generational trauma is the most important thing when you get sober. And you and Kiki are doing that. And your kids feel safe. And that's a big deal. Children need to feel safe. They shouldn't be worried about what their parents are going to do.
Well, our children are very safe, but I'm trying to take that to my older children who I didn't have the chance to relay that to.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
How are you doing that?
I mean, we put them together as much as possible. We're always together as much as possible.
Leading by example, taking time, right? You take more time
with
out.
each other, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's been powerful watching you do that. Yeah. What I'm gonna read some of the things you wrote here. I meet God every day I look in the mirror. What's that about, brother?
Well, that's what they say. God, they say your version of God is just that you could die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daughter was reading it to me in the Bible. She's reading the Bible, and it showed that we're all made in God's image. It's just that we can die. You know, we're capable of dying. God's not. Other than that, we're His image.
Mm-hmm. How do you keep your ego in check these days, sir?
I don't know how to keep it in check, but I have it in a position where it doesn't affect my family. It doesn't affect my family. It's not about I'm doing this, I'm paying for this. Yo, guys, listen to me. The reason that we're doing all this stuff is because I do this, I. So we don't do that anymore. We don't understand that. We understand that we're a team, or whatever we do it together.
God, you know, one of the things that we would do, you know, we would travel around and do a bunch of different things, and a lot of things trigger you. People trigger you, right? You've gotten a lot better at being patient and not getting jammed up.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Right?
I'm very patient.
Yeah. When did that become more important to you?
When I stopped getting lawsuits for attacking people or yelling at them and scaring them for talking to me and saying hi to me.
Yeah.
And I realized it just comes with the job. You know, the
Right.
autographs, the people screaming your name and all that stuff. They used to irritate me, which I worked so hard to get. And I realized that it just comes with the job.
Mm-hmm. Comes with the job.
Personal.
Yeah, you know, people are always asking me what's the spiritual awakening and recovery, whatever, and I always come back to the same answer. It's the ability to pause. God always gives you 30 seconds just to step back and say nothing to something and walk away, restrain a pen and tongue at all costs.
And get out of my head.
Get out of your head.
All of it comes from being hanging out in here. A bad neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. What's Michael, what's your training schedule like now for this thing? I can just tell, man, you've been hyper-focused on this thing.
All right, so I get, what do I do? I get up in the morning, I work out, do the physical, my rowers and stuff. Then I go to the gym earlier, then I do my bike or my treadmill again. And then I do my boxing. I do around 6 rounds working out in the gym with boxing. Then I do another hour of my strength and conditioning right afterwards.
Right.
I do strength and conditioning. And then after that, I get my massage, and then I get my therapy on my legs.
Wow. And how many days a week are you doing that?
Every day.
Are you doing it every day?
Friday, yeah.
Are you still getting up like at 4:30?
Yes.
And what time?
I do that when I'm not training.
Right. I know. We used to work. I used to pick you up at 4:30. We would be at the gym at 5.
Yes.
Yeah, those were good days, man. You know what else was good days? Driving down PCH singing James Brown with you.
Oh, that was pretty hard.
Those were good days, huh? Getting a yogurt, man. It was special.
Looking at the ocean.
Yeah. No, drive out to Malibu. You always want to drive out to Malibu. And
I love the scenery when we drive in the road. You can see the ocean.
Yeah, you love that strip over there. That's sweet. I want to talk to people that have been in your life. What's JFK Jr. like?
Wow, what was he like? It's awesome energy.
Right.
He loved the world. He loved enjoying himself in the world. He loved having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But when he told me about the plane, I didn't like the plane. Didn't settle well with me.
When he told you he was going to start flying?
Yeah, him personally, I didn't.
Why? Something didn't feel right about it?
No, I said, why would you want to do that? Why don't you just get a G5 and somebody just fried you? Just fly you all over the place. I said, listen, they would love to give you a G5 and you could promote it. They would do it for me, so I know they'd do it for you. And he said, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want simple this and that. He was somebody that wanted to be like a nobody, which is, that was never going to happen. You know, and I was saying, you have to go into politics. You think so? I said, yeah, you have to go into politics. It's ordained for you to be a politician. You have to do it. And so your mother's side and your father's side, they were all politicians. You know what I mean? His grandfather from his mother's side, he was a politician too. Fitzgerald. He was a politician pretty much. He ran his area where he lived at. And so did Joe Kennedy. So on both sides, he had
big
political ambition. I mean, and I think he really wanted to do it, but he wanted to feel the feeling of what was the temperature of people thinking that he should do it. I thought everybody thought that he should have been president.
Oh, he would have won. Yeah.
Landslide.
Yeah, landslide. Well, how'd you guys meet?
Listen, I've seen this guy, I'm riding a motorcycle, and this guy is out, and he said, hey, and he goes like this, and I'm saying, that's that's JFK right there, right? But we kept going because we were crazy, and then I don't know if he must have told somebody he met me real quick, and I rode by real quick on a bike, but then we realized that someone put us together, and I went to George, the office George, and that's
the magazine.
Yeah, that's what I met him at.
Oh, wow.
He was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I heard he's a special guy.
His staff was awesome. It was just really, it was really great energy to be in front of. Great energy.
What about Tupac? Tell me about your relationship with him.
Very explosive guy, man. He's beautiful. He's one of those guys, wherever he was, there's a crowd following. You know? He was a guy that he was a leader without even knowing. People would just follow him. Anything he said on the records, people would do it. If he was mad at somebody, he would talk on the radio, talk about that person. That people have so many thousands of people that hate them. It was just the power that he had that he didn't understand.
Did he remind you of you?
A lot.
A lot, right?
Yes. Just didn't give a fuck. But he did, but he didn't know how to give a fuck. You know, I didn't know how to care.
How long were you guys pals for?
I think I met him in '91, and then his mother wrote me a letter and said that he wanted to come visit me. I said that's okay, and that's how I really met him. He started coming visit me in '93.
Oh, 93. Wow. Did James Brown come visit you in prison?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the story you told me what James did about combing his hair?
Listen, he was just talking about this guy had the biggest ego in the world.
Right.
He was just talking about himself and how everybody tried to copy him, which he probably was right. Everybody copied me. Jackie Wilson copied me. He got mad at me. Jackie Wilson, this guy, this, and you see him. He was just he was like Tupac too. He had no restraint. He just felt he can do whatever he wanted. He just didn't care about the law. He didn't care about nothing. He just did whatever he wanted. And he went to jail for a long period of time too.
Right.
And it didn't faze him. It didn't faze him at all being in jail. He was just that person. He was just a stone hard man. That's what he was.
Yeah.
He stayed there with it till the day he died. It's a hard man.
Didn't you tell me, he told you a story about how to do good time in prison? Didn't he tell you a story about he was combing his hair and the guy, the brother?
No. Listen, someone had said something disrespectful about him, right?
Right.
And he said, really, he's doing his hair. He's brushing his hair, and the guy was telling him that he had to pay some fees or something.
Right.
Right? And next thing you know, James Brown kicked his ass.
He knocked him out, right?
Yeah, and the next thing you know, people come and visit him. He was James Brown's bodyguard.
Wow. He was fierce.
Yeah. But you imagine the guy try to move on you, next thing you know, he's your bodyguard.
Right.
Because you kicked his ass.
You watch people, and did people like James Brown that died hard, and that, did you pay attention to that? And like, I didn't want to go.
100%.
Tell me about that, Michael. What did you see with people?
I just realized, with people, I realized what I wanted to be and what I didn't want to be.
Right.
You know, I loved and admired James Brown, but he lived a hell of a life, a hard life, a real hard life. You know, all balls to the walls, just a hard life. He never had an easy day in his life. Everything was hard, and he allowed that. That was his reason, his problem. He wanted to live his life like that. He had no. He didn't have what I had. He didn't have you. A guy like you. Stay around him and let him know.
Love him up.
Yeah, that you're not God, nigga. Everybody loves you.
Right.
And it's hard for people like that to accept love when they're the king of the hill. How could you manage? Because the only love that counts is yours when you're in that state. Nobody else's love matters. Only that matters is yours, what you feel you love.
Yeah, you leave the planet screaming if that's
Yeah.
your mantra.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
And we're not going out that way, brother.
I was looking forward to going out that way, but unfortunately, fortunately that didn't happen. But I was thinking I was going to go out of this world screaming.
I know you were. Got pretty close. A couple times.
I look at my life as something very special because I survived it. I survived my own execution by my own hands. So I escaped that.
Did you say majority of the time you're pretty at peace with yourself?
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I haven't cheated on my life and my wife in a few years, probably 3 years, 2 years, something around
Big deal.
that. 2.5
Yeah.
to 3 years. That's a bit. Listen, if I didn't cheat on my wife in a month, that's a miracle. A month, if I was straight a month without being an animal, that was that's a win. That's a victory. Now I have a couple of years under my belt.
Yeah. Why is that so important to you, sir?
I don't know, because that's been my only really major issue in life. And whatever other issues I had was the cause of that. That was the cause of it. So since I'm not that way anymore, I don't have those issues. I don't have those issues. If my wife, if I'm having an argument with my wife, it's about time. Maybe she's spending too much time here or here. That's the only arguments I have, pretty much.
You know, your acting out was interesting to me because a lot of it wasn't about the actual sexual act. It was just you were desperate for love.
That could have been it, really, yeah. Because that's what sex addiction is. They put they normally when they say I have a sex addiction class, they forget the love, sex and love. They forget the love that the two of them equate with one another. They're not the same, but they're very close. They appear to be the same because of the feeling. The feeling's pretty much the same, but they're not the same.
And getting that love hit from some stranger sometimes is the best dope in the world.
Wow, it's yeah, it is.
Talk about that, Michael.
It was just my whole gimmick. Always having, I would get off the plane. I would see not a stewardess, but someone that works in the airport that escorts me, and she would escort me right to the ladies' bathroom or the men's bathroom, and we would have sex. Right off the plane.
Right.
What do you call those people that pick you up at the plane? Escorts.
Right.
Yeah, you escorted the plane. She grabbed me, we walked right into the bathroom.
Right. Yeah.
Not a public one, in the office, go in the office and go into the private bathroom.
Yeah.
Right there. And I never listened. I just said hi to them.
Yeah.
And it's like I was planned, boom, I meet them, they're there, and we walk right into the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like it's planned.
Right.
It's like the devil just say, this is going to happen today. And you can't believe this, man. You just can't believe it. You get off the plane, there's the escort there. I'm talking about the plane escort, not the escort, a prostitute or anything. And they escort you straight to the office, then you go into the bathroom in the office.
Well, I think sometimes you forget you're one of the most famous people in the world, and people love to do that with you. And also, the reason why they do that is because your energy says I'm available.
Yes. I have.
Okay, that's all. I'm Mr. Innocent. See, you used to all do that Mr. Innocent.
I don't have that. I don't have that vibe anymore.
No,
I did have that vibe.
You got to keep the force
filled
filled up, man. People don't do that when they don't do that, and
it's
then
the
you honor your beautiful wife.
Yes, it's the energy.
You have integrity. You make her feel safe.
It's the energy, But it comes down to you wanting to make your family safe. It's not about it's the right thing to do. It's because you want to do it.
Right.
And that became my whole basics in my relationship, just to make sure everything's okay at home and the kids are good. And just all the kids, not just my kids I have, but all the kids. We're all friends. We all work on becoming better friends.
Yeah, I know you are, buddy. And I think, too, one of the things you've gotten is just like, I just don't want drama.
No.
I just don't want to fight. I got shit to do. I
don't want drama, but drama's going to always be there. I don't want it, but drama's going to always be there. It's just what it is. It's just the energy that people have with you that bring the drama. You said I had the energy. All that sex stuff and I'm thinking I'm a lover, but it's not love, it's the energy. You give out the energy, somebody's going to pick it up. You know, 'cause somebody else there had the same energy.
Right.
And I learned a lot about energy. I learned a lot about it.
Talk about energy and how you change your energy and the energy you put out and the energy
Well,
you
whatever
take in.
energy you put out there, you're gonna encounter.
Right.
No matter what it is, you're gonna encounter. So always think about throwing just humble energy out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hormonal energy out there. And I just want the respect and love that I give. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Feels good, right?
Yeah, that's all I want.
Feels good. Are you going back to train today?
I'm gonna go back to training on Monday.
And you're loving training, right?
Hey, it's getting there, man. It's breaking my body down, but I gotta build back up. I'm doing good though.
You feel strong though.
Yes.
Yeah. Powerful.
Yes.
Right?
I'm getting better. I'm feeling stronger here.
Right.
That's where it starts to click, when you're stronger here.
Yeah. How does that happen, Michael?
Huh?
How does that happen?
Repetition.
Repetition.
It's like and we have repetition of not drinking, repetition of having a positive attitude, repetition of just respecting your peers.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be repetition. Everything's repetition. Fight is repetition. Preparing for this job is repetition. Everything's repetition. You just can't do it one time and be the best. Over and over and over and over again. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
Amen. Right on. Right. How did you come up with that? Where did it?
That's my mentor's saying. Customer
taught you that.
Yeah, he taught me that.
Right. Yeah, because you're once you get on track, you don't move off it. Whatever it is you do. You know, the toughest place to do that is actually learning how to forgive yourself and love yourself, though.
Yeah, I'm working on that. That's becoming a lot better.
I know you are, buddy. Yeah, I know you are. That's the ultimate fight.
See, no one would know what it feels like to ask for amends and not get it. You know, you have to go to the experience and go to the program, because the program's working, everything's working. So you think, hey, this is a miracle. The program works. Then you ask for the amends. Everybody's giving you amends. Yes, I forgive you. And then you ask another person, and they don't forgive you.
Right, and then, but our job is if someone says they don't take it, our job is to respect that.
Yes.
They say, fuck you.
Don't push it, yeah.
Fuck you, Seano. You don't go, well, no. You respect it and you move on.
Yes. But it leaves a taste in your mouth.
Listen, a lot of people in your life, Michael, have stolen from you, misrepresented, betrayed you, all kinds of bullshit since you were fucking a kid. How have you forgiven people? How do you forgive? Why is forgiveness so important?
Because forgiveness is that's self-healing. Really, forgiveness is self-healing. It's not outer healing. So I do it more for my best interest than anything.
Yeah, you work really hard on not living in the past and not letting people land on you. Proud of you for that, buddy. That used to really...
Too much going on in the future for that.
Yeah, you used to brag to me about what a bad person you was, and I said, I don't want to hear that negative self-talk anymore. You don't do that anymore. I said, just because you came up that way doesn't mean that's who you are anymore. No,
you're absolutely right.
Isn't that right, brother?
Absolutely right.
Can we talk about Kiki for a little bit?
You want to talk about
her? Okay. Can we she's the glue. I'm just glad you guys are together and you're on a high frequency together.
Well, I don't know if she's the glue. We call our daughter the glue.
You call Milan the glue?
Yeah,
why is she the glue?
Because she is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a superpower. There's something very right about her.
I don't know where we would have been without her.
Yeah, I understand that. Dylan's that way for me.
If we didn't have her, she would have never came to that Utah festival.
Right. Oh, that's right.
She probably would have hung out with somebody else, found somebody else, started hanging out with them, and left me in rehab. You know what I mean? That's normally how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I go to rehab, my girlfriend's not my girlfriend anymore.
Right.
So I thought that was gonna basically happen with Kiki, but I guess since we had the baby, that was gonna be a foregone conclusion. So we just hung out together.
Yeah.
And we made this stuff work.
You made it work. And it's beautiful. It's working out. It's working out really good. She's got your back.
I wish some of my friends were still alive, because they thought when I married her, it was disastrous.
What would you tell them now?
Huh?
What would you tell some of your friends that was a disaster?
I said, why don't you get married? I'm getting married. I said, if you're married for 2 years, my friend said, if you're married for 2 years, I'll get married. And like a year and a half, he died.
Right.
Yeah.
No one thought you were going to stay alive, let alone stay married.
Yeah, really.
It was just,
My friend kept saying, Mike, man, I wish you stopped using this cocaine, but if you don't worry, I'm going to have a fucking hell of a funeral for you, man. We're going to have a hell of a funeral. Don't worry. Just know when you're dying, you're going to have a hell of a funeral, right? Just remember that.
Right.
He used to always tell me that. That funeral
I
on
also
its
know
way,
you're
Mike.
proud, and there's a part of you that doesn't want to die a junkie.
No.
You've seen too many people like that. It's a fucking horrible way to go out. There's no dignity in it.
Man.
It's funky, man.
I always wonder, why was I meant to see all this pain, from drugs and liquor? Fuck, I had no idea what it could do to you. No idea.
You know what, buddy? I don't know. We all have purpose. We're all here to do something, but I think you're a healer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I believe that, Michael, because what you went through and what you've done, and there's so much love in you. You're a healer. You help people not give up.
Well, I like to think that.
No, it's powerful.
Because that's what my mentor did to me.
Yeah, right. And you're passing it on. You're honoring it, though. People look up to you. They're just like, Jesus Christ, if Mike can do it. I mean, fuck, you really inspire people. I know that it's important to you.
Well, life is just a test.
Yeah.
And without test, there's no testimony.
Yeah, but you've been tested quite a few times, though, man.
Well, I put myself in the focus of those tests. I put myself out there to be tested. Not intentionally. It just happened.
I think another reason why you and I got along so well, like, you would be on one, and I would find out when you're coming off the plane, and I'd meet you at the airport, and you give me that look, and I said, "You ready?" "No." I said, "Call me when you're ready. I love you." And he'd go, "Yeah." But I could see it bothered you when I would be at the airport and you were getting ready to fucking go do your thing. But I never forced you because it doesn't work then. And I knew that wouldn't work with you. You're ready when you're ready, right, Michael? Isn't that right?
It has to be, because I would never. You couldn't pay me to go back there again.
Right.
You didn't pay me, and it's probably 10 times worse than I can remember it to be. But I remember it was bad.
I think one of the things that
It's no one knows what it's like when all your friends really cut you off, pretty much. When you have nobody but yourself and you're out there. Ooh. And that's what drugs and alcohol do. You're by yourself. And it tells you have to be by yourself. Don't be around anybody.
Right. Yeah, that's a different level of solitary confinement. That's real madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's you and the drugs. It's got you where it wants you by yourself.
Right.
No one can give you any kind of advice.
Right.
That's why I'm always with people that I'm never alone.
Yeah.
Never alone. Because the disease wants you to be alone.
It loves you.
It wants you.
Loves you. By yourself. Party of one.
Yes.
Mike Tyson feeling sorry for himself.
Yes.
Why the world's fucked him. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Get more coke over here, motherfucker.
Yeah. Get them nasty bitches over here. That's going to give me a venereal disease.
Well, you're in that kind of great place when people get in recovery where you just can't imagine ever going back.
No.
It's just it's just too good right now.
I can remember certain arguments I had with my wife. I go right back to drugs. You couldn't pay me to go back.
Yeah, going back.
It's just that's out of my life.
Right.
I might get into some street fights and go to jail for that before I ever get in trouble for drugs.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's super powerful.
Well, you have to go through what we went through to say that, because you see how hard it is for people to give it up.
Right.
You have to go through that. You have to walk through that plank of fire. Once you walk through that, you don't want to see that. You don't want to deal with that no more.
Everybody knows, of course, Cuss being a great inspiration. Who else has been great inspirations to you over the years?
Listen, the people in the program and stuff.
That's great.
As far as saving my life, people in the program. Because that's their job, to save lives, even though they fail a great deal, but it's their job. And they know how to do their job. It's just that the players that they're playing with is not going with the program. And the only reason you can win in this program is if you go with the program. That's what I mean. You have to stay with the program. Don't alienate yourself. That's why any kind of trouble I got, I was explaining to someone yesterday they were interviewing me. I said, whenever I get in any trouble, anything, I go right to the program. So I used to know this is good for me. It works for me.
It's centering, it balances you out. You just forget about life a little bit.
Certain people I know it doesn't help, but it helps me.
Yeah, it helps
I'm
me
just
too.
one of those people.
Yeah. You know, still go to meetings together. Meetings work for us.
Yeah, they work.
They're powerful, right? You hear something.
Yes, 100%.
You hear something. Something might save your life that day.
That's what. This is what really make the program successful. I think the meetings.
Right.
That's what makes it very successful. That's how, if people succeed in this program, it's because of the meetings.
Yeah. No, you were all in, as we talked about earlier. What do you want to tell people about it? Anything else you want to share about it?
Is that I think I was put on this world to make a difference.
Right.
I just think I was. Because things that I do, people make big things with my little quotes and stuff I say. People make them, I don't know, but I just think I was here for a reason. To help people, not to do nothing bad, not to make a lot of money, not to be rich and glorified, but just, that might come with it, but that's not it.
Money's never moved you. I know that I've always loved that about you. You want, at the end of the day, you want a sense of peace.
My mentor was like that. He wasn't money inclined. We didn't think about money. We thought money is a force of security. You have money, you don't think you could you can die. And I was watching television, and I was watching Ordeal when everybody invaded Puffy's house, and no one was there. His children were there, and I realized that I don't care how much money you have, you can't protect anybody from hurting your children. And people that you love, you can't protect them from hurting themselves.
Oh, that was going through your head when you watched that footage?
When they had his children and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, look, all the money in the world can't stop
You
them.
understand that fucking kind of pain, right? You get it.
Can't help them. Listen, if someone had problems, somebody got excited, they shot your son, all the money in the world can't save them.
Right. Yeah, you've known some of the most wealthiest people in the world. You know, I do too.
Oh, they've been there. And they're in this room. They're in the rooms too.
Right.
Trying to get the help. They're trying to get the help.
Right. Trying to break out.
They realize that this is not it. All this money is not what it's made out to be. I had realized when I was younger, in my 40s, that if you never had a lot of money before, right? If you never had a lot of money, you never know what it's like.
Right.
You just, it's not what you think it is. It's not like, wow, my life is going to be totally happy. I'm never going to have any problems. Because of this fortune. If you think a lot of money is going to make you happy, you never had a lot of money before.
Amen.
Never had a lot of money before.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'll say that, I unfortunately had a tremendous amount of money one time, and I was never happy.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
I was never happy.
It's nice to have, you got some financial security now though, right?
Well, that's cool too for my kids and stuff, and my wife. Yeah. But even having security for them, when are they going to secure themselves?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it my job to secure you or to teach you how to secure yourself?
Teach them how to fish.
Yes.
Right. That's right. Teach them how to fish. I taught Dylan how to fish. He's pulling in some big fucking fish these days, man.
Yes, gotta teach them how to fish.
Right? Right.
Like sometimes I'm just very happy when I have a good family base now. And we have a good understanding with the
Yeah, a
kids.
lot of love. We talked about a lot of love going on. I know it's important to you. It's good. It's important for you to right the ship with everybody. Right?
My son, I just want people to understand you don't have to be a somebody if you're not. It doesn't necessarily mean you're somebody because a lot of people know you and you're a celebrity. That doesn't make you a somebody. That should give you the attention of people. But that doesn't mean you're a good person or a bad person. You have to establish who you want to be in life. And you can't establish getting high and being a junkie is my basis of life.
Let's just keep the love going, Michael. Let's just keep the love going, huh? Let's keep the healing going. Let's keep the forgiveness going.
Yeah, forgiveness.
Let's keep giving, right? Let's just keep pushing
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the love. What matters is the truth. What matters is, right?
Yeah.
We're doing the right thing.
I like to believe I am, yeah.
Yeah, I know you
I
are.
feel like I am.
Right on. The Seano Show is a production of iHeart Podcasts, hosted by me, Seano McFarland. produced by Pod People and 28th Ave. Our lead producer is Keith Karnalek. Our executive producer is Lindsay Hoffman. Marketing lead is Ashley Weaver. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.